Welcome to video number 5, Basic Keyword Research. We're going to basically get the keyword plus the geographical location. Now, I showed you this in the previous videos on using Google Insights, but we're going to dig a little bit deeper in terms of the keywords where the locations are. Now, just because you're in United Kingdom or Canada, or even me being in the USA, that doesn't mean that I can only target my own geographical location. The beauty of the internet is that you can still build websites in other geographical locations. So with that said, let's go back to Google Trends or Insights, which is the same thing, and let's go do this. Okay, so if you go to google.com/trends and you do a search for roofing or any other specific keyword that you want to target, in this case, I've done a search on roofing and my geographical location is in the United States. Now, like I said earlier, you don't have to go after your geographical location if you don't want, as long as you see that there are local companies that are trying to generate leads, there is a market in that area. Now, if I click on United States, anything that is in the darker range is the higher volume. So, for example, Florida has 85, Colorado has 95, Ohio has 85, and Tennessee has 86. Now, when I think of roofing, I think of people that are replacing this simply because of the weather's bad and so forth. Like, especially in Ohio and Pennsylvania, stuff in the more north, there's a lot of snow. Stuff in the south, there's a lot of, hurricanes and rain and so forth. Now, if you click on your specific geographical location, let's say South Carolina, which is this location. So let's say, for example, okay, we got 892, 100, Augusta, 71, and Savannah, so forth. I'm going to dig into my location, which let's say is Columbia, 62. Comparatively to the other ones, there's not a whole lot. But you've got to also remember, if you're dealing with local CPA companies, you got to figure out where are their services located. They may not serve other locations. So you might need to talk to your affiliate manager and ask them about that. So I can see right now that Columbia SC Roofing gets about 85, which is pretty good. Rising Metal Roofing. So I could create a specific site about metal roofing. So you don't have to create a general site about just roofing in general. You can say metal roofing Columbia, South Carolina, or metal roofing city, state. In fact, the more specific I found, the better. So right now I just want to get an idea of the related terms. So let's say, for example, that I want to go to Florida, maybe Jacksonville. Let's see if Jacksonville is available. Okay, Jacksonville has 93, Tampa has 100. Now these areas are probably more high competitive areas, so just keep that in mind. So if I click on Jacksonville, for example, we've got Jacksonville roofing, Jacksonville, Florida, metal roofing, so forth and so forth. So these are kind of the related terms that we're dealing with, but the highest ones are roofing Jacksonville and roofing Jacksonville, Florida. So let's say, for example, that you get a WordPad and kind of keep track of what we're dealing with here. So I could go after Jacksonville. And I could specifically go after metal roofing, Jackson, Florida. But in this case, I'm going to keep it general as possible. I'll just say roofing, Jacksonville, Florida, because there might be another Jacksonville, in the other parts of the United States. So I'm going to say, we'll just say roofing, Jacksonville, Florida as my main keyword. And then these other keywords as kind of as a secondary keywords. Now you can also take a step a notch up and go to google.com, do a search on Google Keyword Tool, and do some research here as well. I could type in Jacksonville, Florida roofing. I want the United States. We're gonna just go ahead and enter the CAPTCHA here. And this gives us a good idea of other keywords that we could go after. So roofing contractors, Jacksonville, Florida. You've got your global monthly searches and your local monthly searches. Your local monthly searches simply applies to the location here. Global is obviously global, and I'm not really interested in global monthly searches. The competition also is very, very high, as you can see here. So I could go after something smaller like roofing Jacksonville Beach, Florida, or Roof Masters, which I think is a company name, and so forth. So that kind of gives you an idea here. I could go after roofing Jacksonville Beach, Florida, which is medium competition, and go after here. Now, depending on the strategy, the marketing strategy that you use, I found that you could even go after the high competition and do pretty well as well. But I want to generate leads fast. So let's say 200 people, out of the 200 people, maybe 10 people go to my roofing form and fill it out. I get $40 a piece. So that's $400. So that's not really bad at all. So that gives me another avenue that I could take. Roofing Jacksonville Beach, Florida, 210. So that should give you a better idea of the main keyword that you want to target. Geographically, it has to look like keyword plus city, state. That's what you want. Because we want to target people as specific as possible. And when you're dealing with local, search engine optimization, it's actually a lot easier than the online search engine optimization. So that said, let's end this video and move to the next video where I talk about LSI keywords.